Welcome to Cornerer Content 2.0's first $100 giveaway event for the month of May. This video will include a story from the writer Little Penguin. The story doesn't have an ending. Write what you think would be the best ending to the story in the comment section below. Include your Instagram handle at the end of your comment. The winner will be announced on the 31st of May. If you win, we will reach out to you via Instagram. Looking forward to what you come up with.
Tara placed her mug on the coffee table and hurried out her apartment door, clipboard, and pen in hand. Planning new workouts and training the new students was taking its toll, and coffee was an absolute must before even trying to start a new workday. Saturday was the first meet of the season for the track team of High School Brad in Ohio. Only 4 days of training left, Tara thought to herself, as she climbed in her SUV and headed to her science class. Besides being a coach, she was also a science teacher, but the upcoming track meet was now first priority in her mind at least. Fortunately, the morning classes went very quickly, and soon she was making her way down to the track. Her team was already waiting for her, some standing around, others chatting excitedly about the past weekend, and others stretching and doing other warm-ups. All right, team, let's gather around and get started. As you all know, we have only Monday through Thursday to train. Friday, we rest. And then, Saturday is the meet. So I expect of you all to give your best in training and Saturday at the meet. And well, also in resting on Friday. Just check your diets still. A quiet laughter broke out among the group. Enough joking, let's get to it. Tara began putting down markers and explained the drill. They were doing 200-meter repeats, which was something most of the athletes hated, but it was very good for building speed and endurance. It was also a great way to see where every athlete was at. She glanced around at her runners standing at the start line and sent them off with a short blow on her whistle. There was quite a large group, and she had the boys and girls run separately. Girls first, obviously. She watched them run, everyone with their own unique style and rhythm. "Gotta pick up that pace," she shouted. "Remember, the more you slack, the more we are going to do." The girls nodded as they passed the finish line and started walking to the start again. Kayla was her fastest girl runner, but also very sly. She knew if she started out slower, it would be easier to do the last runs, and all the other girls can just follow her lead. Start slower, and then gradually, with every repeat, pick up the pace. That way, we won't look too bad, she convinced the other girls before starting. But that didn't work out great this time, because Coach checked their timing. "I'm sorry, girls. We probably should just really give our best," Kayla said with a sigh. Some girls shot her a knowing smile, and others a sarcastic, "I told you so." They turned their attentions to the boys who were just shooting off the start line. "Now that's a pace I dream of," said Sadie, pointing with her head in the direction of the front runner, Aiden. Aiden was the youngest athlete, but with great potential. He had been training for the 400 meters all his life, and 200-meter repeats was something he had done almost twice every week since he started middle school. But he recently had an ankle injury that kept him from exercising for quite a while, so he was still in the recovery stage, but still quite fast. "Cross that line. Let's go, let's go, let's go!" Tara chimed excitedly as the boys came in for the finish. "Keep up that pace, and you'll be done early today." "Thanks, Coach. Just trying to follow orders." Fred smiled. Fred was a great friend and cheerleader among the team. Tara loved working with him. He was still new in the school, but had a great zeal for life, and especially running. He ran the 800 meters, as well as the 1,500 meters. Training went smoothly that afternoon, and everybody left in good spirits for their home. But Tara stayed a while longer, just taking everything in. Her first year as a coach went quite rough. It was hard to get the other coaches to trust in her ability to lead the team and the parents, while some of them really were a nightmare. She had been called names too bad to even mention, and one of the dads went so far as to talk to the principal about it. But she had proven them all wrong. first at Georgia High and then at National Woodland High School. This year was her first at Brad, but her 7th year of coaching. She loved this, the planning of workouts, the meeting of new athletes every year, and working with a team, yet also sometimes making the time to work one-on-one with them. And then the thrill of the actual meet, seeing her trainees make a name for themselves. She glanced at the field one more time before heading back to her car. Saturday came around quicker than anyone expected, and the tracks that were empty just a few nights before were now packed with excited athletes, parents and grandparents, teachers and friends, and then, last but not least, the coaches. First up from the team was Hayden and Fred in the 1,500 meters for boys under 15. Both of them did quite well, earning 2nd and 5th positions, and later Jamie got a 3rd in 200 meters for girls under 14. But not long after was the race everyone from Brad was waiting for, the boys under 14 400-meter race. Aiden had the record at Brad, and he was hoping to break the high school records at every track meet. But there still was one problem, his ankle. He had no way to know when his ligaments would act up and decide that they had enough for one day. But still, he would try his best. He promised that to himself, his parents, and his coach. And it has been around 3 weeks since he last had an incident where he had to stop running, so he was feeling confident that everything would be fine. On your marks, get set, go! Athletes flown off the start of the 400 meters, and Sadie was watching every move Aiden made. She really wished to have his pace, or just be as good at something as he was at this. Aiden started from the first 100 meters to make space between him and the other runners, and was continuing to do so throughout the next 300 meters. He came in a full 50 meters in front of all the other runners, and cheering broke through everyone in the crowd. This brought Sadie back to reality, as she was somewhere stuck in the thought of winning a gold medal at the finals, and maybe, just maybe, that will prove her worth to her father. It was Monday morning, and the school buzzed with excitement about the results from Saturday's meet. It went very well, and their school received quite a high number of points. Tara struggled to get the noisy science classroom under control and decided to lead them outside for a fun day of experiments. We have to celebrate somehow, she thought. Then she noticed Sadie sitting in the corner of the classroom, apparently very focused on reading her textbook. Tara told the students which experiment to do before heading to the place where Sadie sat. Sadie almost jumped in her seat as she heard her coach call out her name. "Sadie, are you okay?" "Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm okay. I just got a lot on my plate, you know." "Care to share?" "Not really, but thanks." "My pleasure. And remember, I'm always here if you want to talk." "Thanks, Coach. I hope it's okay and I call you that in class," Sadie smiled shyly. "No problem. Remember any time." And with that, Tara went to join the other students outside to do an experiment on how to build the strongest bridge using spaghetti. Sadie stayed a while, accompanied by her own thoughts as well as the words of her coach, before following the other students outside. With every bridge they built, Sadie found herself in war with her own head and heart. She decided that after school she was going to talk to Coach. Maybe that will make me feel better, right? Sadie thought and tried to calm herself down. After classes, Sadie ran through the building to find Tara. She was already heading to her car. "Coach!" she yelled. Tara turned. "Can we talk?" Sadie asked when she reached her. "Of course. Coffee?" "That sounds great." They both walked to the small cafe around the corner and sat down at a quiet booth in the back. "So, what's on your mind?" "I'm sorry, Coach. I don't really want to bother anyone. But since you already know something is wrong, maybe it would do me some good to talk to someone." "I don't know, Coach. I'm trying very hard to do my best in school. Get better at running, do well in culinary lessons, but none of it seems to ever be enough. Sometimes I am just so tired that I zone out in class, which is what happened today, I guess." "That sounds exhausting. But tell me why you think it's not enough. Seems to me you're doing pretty well for yourself." "My grades are average." I'm one of the slowest runners of the team, and, well, I guess my culinary lessons aren't too bad. I see. Well, I'll do what I can to help. Maybe we can meet early every Tuesday morning for extra science tutoring, and I'll see if I can help with any other subjects, and I'll try to watch more intently on ways I can help you get faster. Tell me, if you had a goal this year, what would it be? For running or school? Both? All right. I would very like to be in the top 10 of my class, but my biggest goal would be to win the final 200 meters this year, or at least get into the finals. Sadie sighed. That's a pretty big goal. I'll help in any way I can. And thanks again so much for talking to me. Thanks to you, Coach. I really appreciate this. And can you please keep our meetings a secret for now? Of course. They drank their coffee and enjoyed a little bit of chit-chat before each running off to their own tasks. The next few weeks speedily slipped away, and finals were creeping nearer bit by bit. Training went great, and all the athletes became stronger in their speciality, especially Sadie. Although Tara still helped everyone on her team, she really tried to show Sadie that she cared and helped her fix a few things in her style that put extra time on the second counter. She was really pushing herself to be the best and was running quite near to Kayla and the other frontrunners. She wasn't the fastest yet, but in her age group in that school, she was the third best. Aiden also was recovering very nicely. He hasn't had big problems with his ankle in very long. Of course, there still was an occasional ache that reminded him just how badly he had hurt it. Today marked 6 weeks before the finals, and school was very busy, with everyone preparing not only for track finals, but also first semester tests. One day, Tara heard someone with a manly voice yell in the shrill voice of a girl trying to defend herself. She called on of the teachers nearby for extra support, and they both followed the sound of the two voices. They reached a fence through which they could see the incident without being noticed. "You can only give me a B. Seriously, I work hard to pay for you to be in this school, and you bring me tests scoring a B. And why are you still so slow? You better step up your game if you ever want to be anything in this world." And with that, the man climbed in his car and sped away. "I'm trying, Dad," a desperate voice cried after him as she tried to catch up with the vehicle. "Sadie," Tara gasped. The other teacher watched on in silence, his face flushing with anger. Tara rushed to meet Sadie, and when she saw her, Sadie run into her arms. The other teacher went to separate the groups that formed near the scene. "I think I understand now. Your dad's the one that says that you are not doing enough." "He's right," Sadie cried. "I can never do anything right. I am not enough. Ever." "Sadie," Tara said a little sternly, "you cannot think that way. Your identity doesn't lie in what, and that will not change because one person says you're not enough." Sadie pulled slightly away and lifted her face to her coach's. "You really think so, Coach?" "Yes, I do. You just keep doing your best, and if anyone says different, well, then they are acting like a fool." Sadie nodded and hugged her teacher. "I'll take you back home if you want. Or you can even stay with me for the night, if that's all right with your dad." "Thank you so much. I really appreciate it." Colton walked away from the scene furiously. How can anybody treat their daughter that way, he thought. Everybody in school could see how hard Sadie really worked to get to the top. How is that not enough? His thoughts gnawed at him throughout that week, and it was hard to focus on the relay practice that afternoon. He was busy forming an idea in his head on how to make Sadie feel loved and accepted, at least among their track group. He called over to 2 of his buddies, Rachel and Tim. "Hey guys, did you see what happened earlier?" "The whole yelling thing?" Rachel asked. "Yes," Colton almost yelled out in anger. "I think practically the whole school saw or heard at least part of it. It's really too bad," Tim said with emotion. "Don't you think there's something we can do for her? I mean, just maybe make her know that she is doing enough?" Colton asked thoughtfully. "We could maybe get the team to cheer her on in a special way at the finals," Tim suggested. "You'll think she'll get that far?" Rachel asked. "Have you seen how hard she works? She's third in this school in her age group with a very good possibility of reaching second by the end of this week. I can almost guarantee you she'll make it." Colton exclaimed. Well, then, let's do it. Anything to help out with this terrible situation. Rachel smiled. It will be fun, too. Colton smiled at them both, and they started working on a plan. The day of the finals was finally here, and everyone was sitting at the edge of their seats, watching that race or the other. Tara ran excitedly over the fields, then congratulating her under 16 400-meter runner for getting third and fourth places, and Jamie for reaching first place in the 100-meter. Hayden didn't make finals, but was cheering Fred when he came down the last straight for the 1,500 meters in second place. Colton was busy working out their surprise with a very tired Tim, who just ran the 800 meters, and Rachel was on the lookout for Sadie, who indeed made it to the finals. She found her on the stands, resting her head on her chin. "Sadie," Rachel called out. She almost jumped off her seat. "You startled me. Everything all right?" "Oh, sorry. I was just checking up on you. You run in an hour, right?" "Yeah, but I'm not sure if I'm ready." "Oh, you're ready all right. I've seen you on that field. You'll do great." "Thanks. I'm not so sure, though, but I'll give my best." "Hey, Sadie, you know you've got to get your head right, too." "Yeah, I know. Are you okay?" "Yeah, just nervous." "All right. Well, I'll see you soon, and you know what? You'll do just fine." And with that, Rachel ran down the pavilion to find Tim and the others. "You 14 girls, 200 meters in 5 minutes." Sadie was already on the field warming up as she heard the words over the loudspeaker. She was feeling a little more confident and decided she couldn't give more than her best anyway, so that's just what she would do. Her best. The girls lined up on the start, and Sadie could feel her heart pounding in her chest, and she forced herself to calm down. Just then, a group of her teammates came running to the side of the field to cheer her on. They waved at her, and she smiled at them. "Thanks," she mouthed the words, and got ready to give it her all. Tara was standing at the finish line, her heart almost running away from her. This was the moment of truth. Shotfire ran through the air as the girls flew off the starting line. Cheers run through the crowd. But with the last 100 meters, Tara and Sadie's other teammates watched in shocked silence as Sadie passed one runner to another. And then, there it was. Sadie did it. She won that final race with split seconds in front of the others. She had the crowd all on their feet, and after catching her breath, she jogged excitedly to greet her coach first, and them her teammates, thanking them for their surprise. "I knew you could do it," Rachel said as she hugged her. Then everyone turned their attention to the 400-meter race for the under 14 boys. Aiden and his competition waited for the send-off gun. His ankle has been fine for the past few weeks, but it was aching a bit for some reason today. His teammates was waiting for him to start, and as soon as the gun fired, they broke out in cheers. Everyone's heart skipped a beat as Aiden collapsed and held his ankle.